prefer to work on their own proposals, and they had actually over the weekend gone through the G7 proposals to streamline so that they could actually reduce the number of paragraphs and all that kind of thing, and they had looked at other countries' amendments over the last, since the March draft. So they were quite insistent that they did not want to work on the CST, but the other countries, the developed countries, are all prefer to work with the CST. The main well, I would say the key issues. One is the future of the Rio principles. This was something that was also, I think, in group 2. So basically, language was put in by the EU and supported by many to say it should be that future work should be based on or guided by, and I think the United States, or I can't remember which country, I have to look at my notes. A country even put as appropriate. So there's a real dilution of the real principles. And of course, while the G7 has been focusing a lot on the issue of equity and common but differentiated responsibilities, which is very, very fundamental, it's not only, my sense is that it's not only that EU and others do not want to single out specific principles, but they seem to have a lot of problem with the principles as a whole, which means that principles like polluter pays would be also under threat. And I think if we look at some of the proposals in the framework of action, there's a lot of push for financial mechanisms, the private sector, innovative approaches to financing. So instead of polluter pays, we may be soon giving incentives to polluters, as we see happening in other parts of the UN system, whether it's climate or biodiversity. So I think this is something that as civil society groups we have to be very vigilant over. So they basically went through all the whole section on green economy, and this morning I think all of you should have received a copy of the text as of last night, which would basically consolidate many of the changes that were proposed the whole of yesterday and last night. And then the framework of action was also discussed. So I think that's really the key thing at the moment.
Thank you very, very much. Gilles Pilling, Global Network.